You're listening to Overflow Funnels, the podcast for creative entrepreneurs who want sustainable, freedom first marketing strategies that actually convert. I'm Stina, Pinterest and funnel strategist for business owners who are done with burnout and ready for overflow. Every week, I'll break down the strategy behind showing up less, selling more, and building a business that supports your life, not the other way around. Let's dive in. Most funnels are exhausting. And I don't mean that I had to write a sales page and now I need a snacky snack kind of exhausting. I mean the kind of burnout that makes you want to throw your whole damn laptop out the window and just delete your entire business. You know what I'm talking about? You've set up your funnel, you follow the rules, you built the freebie, you hooked up the landing page, you added a timer. By the way, that's an ick, but it's also a big part of the rules. But I'll get back to that in a later episode. But you did it because you're following the rules and you wrote a welcome sequence. You probably even Googled like a high converting tripwire examples at 2 a.m. while eating peanut butter out of the jar. Or maybe that's just me. Okay, cool. Anyways. But it still doesn't feel like it's working. You're tired, you're still not making consistent sales, you're wondering why it feels like a full-time job just to maintain this thing that you've built. And I just want to tell you right now, you are not crazy and you didn't do anything wrong. You're just inside a whole system that was never designed to feel good in the first place. So in this episode, we're going to break that down and I'm going to walk you through why most traditional funnels burn you out and what I recommend you doing instead and how I approach funnel strategy in my own business and with every single client in a way that's sustainable, aligned, and is still getting us results. So let's just get into it, shall we? We're going to start out by talking about why most funnels feel like a hamster wheel you're just spinning. So a traditional funnel, the way most of us are taught, are built around pressure, scarcity, urgency, volume, timers. It's all about hacking attention. So with this, you need a freebie to grab people. You need a tripwire to immediately monetize those people. You need like a 10 email sequence to nurture. But in reality, you're just trying to keep people interested long enough to pitch them something new. And let me be real with you. That is so much work for something that is not guaranteed to convert. You end up with this never-ending cycle of fixing the funnel. If it doesn't work, the advice is always add more emails, add more scarcity, try a different headline, split test the buttons, create a bonus, try a new offer. It never ends. So you're constantly in there tweaking, launching, and chasing like the next thing to make it all work. And I don't know about you, but that does not feel like freedom or overflow. That doesn't feel sustainable. And that is not what we got into business for. Because most of us did not start our business to become full-time funnel technicians. We want time, space, to be creative, to make impact, and we want to make money. But money that comes with ease, not with the hustle. And that is the part that few people are talking about. Funnels were supposed to be the thing that made it easier to sell, but for a lot of entrepreneurs, they've just become one more thing to constantly manage and overthink. Like I overthink everything, and this would just be one of them. So if your funnel feels heavy, if it feels like you are working for it instead of the other way around, we're going to shift. We're going to make the shift right now. Okay, so if traditional funnels are built on pressure, we're going to look at the alternative. And this is where I'm going to introduce my overflow funnel. And no, this isn't some fluffy name for the same old tactics, okay? The overflow funnel is built on something completely different. It's built on trust. It's designed to work with your strengths, your energy, and your audience's actual decision-making process, not against it. It's not built on hype. It's not built on fake urgency or countdown timers that reset every time you open the page. You know what I'm talking about. It's built on content that compounds. So here's how you can think about it. When Pinterest brings in aligned people every day, or you might think, I'm not going to do Pinterest, but let's say it's Instagram or TikTok or your podcast or like wherever you are visible is bringing in aligned people every day. When your blog or your other long form content is doing the deep nurturing and showing your authority, and then your emails are inviting people in through connections, not pressure. When you have all of that, you don't have to burn out. You don't have to do all of those icky strategies we've just talked about that take up all your energy. You're no longer trying to convince everyone. You're speaking to the right people, the ones who want your offer, and your funnel becomes more of a filter to pre-qualify them, not for you to perform for them. So you're not going to try and be on all the time. And you're not constantly launching new things or keeping it fresh. You're going to let your brilliance, your work, do the actual work for you and letting it build over time. So that sounds easy, but I'm not saying it's zero effort. So let's just be very clear on that. It's still a funnel. It's still a strategy. But instead of focusing on doing more, having to have more, we're going to focus on the right things. We're going to talk about the right message, the right structure, the right rhythm. And let me tell you, when we set it up this way, it's not going to feel like a grind. It's going to feel like clarity, and it's going to feel like overflow. So what do you actually do to create this kind of funnel? Let me break it down. There are 3 core pieces I help my clients build inside their overflow funnel. And when these 3 things work together, that's when we get the magic. So you got a freebie, a lead magnet that actually helps and leads to your offer. It's not going to be a random checklist because someone said you needed one. This is a freebie that's going to give people clarity, relief, or even a small win. It's going to give actual value and not something they can just go and Google or ask ChatGPT. And the kicker is going to naturally lead into your core offer. It should connect the dots between their current struggle and your solution. So no more freebies that are completely disconnected or just to grow your list. It's about building something intentional, strategic, and very helpful. And number 2, you're going to have a content engine that brings in traffic consistently. And for me and my clients, this is very often Pinterest and blogging. But you have to find your way. But every piece of content that we publish is searchable, it's evergreen, and it's going to drive traffic on autopilot. And by that, I mean It brings in traffic to content that we've created a long time ago. So we've already put in the work and now we're kind of reaping the benefits. So we don't have to go viral or post every day. It's about consistency and staying consistent, because then aligned traffic is going to come into your world without having to perform. So for us, it's Pinterest brings the people, our blog nurtures them, and our funnel invites them in. And then number 3 is an email sequence that tells a story and it builds that trust. And this is where the sales happen. And it's not through pressure, but through connections. So we're not going to hit people with buy now in email number 2. We're going to walk them through a transformation, showing them what's possible, answer objections, sharing stories, offer a lot of value in the welcome sequence. Do not be afraid to offer value. It's just going to position you as more of an expert and set you apart from your peers. And then we're going to extend a clear invitation to take the next step. So yes, it takes more intention up front. It's slower than slapping together a tripwire funnel over a weekend with a scarcity countdown timer. But here's the thing. This is the kind of funnel that compounds over time. It builds momentum, it builds brand equity, and it brings in people who get you and want to work with you. And most importantly, it doesn't burn you out. This is what overflow really means. You're not constantly proving yourself. You're letting your work for you. And then you got to remember that even though you have this whole welcome sequence that does its thing over time, and it's more about like offering the value, nurturing, answering objections, they're still going to receive your weekly newsletters or your like updates and all of that stuff that you send in emails every day, every other day, every week, where you do more of a hard sell. So you'll still be selling them. This is more to warm them up, letting them get to know you because they might be completely new in your world. So that wraps it up. And this is just the beginning. If something lit you up while we're listening to this podcast, if you're nodding along like, yes, I am ready for this, here's your next step. You go grab the Overflow Clarity Guide. It's totally free, and I will walk you through what an aligned sustainable funnel actually looks like. And if you're ready to map this out for your own business, book an Overflow strategy session. We'll sit down together, get into the nitty-gritty, and build a plan that actually works with you or for you. Because I know that you deserve to grow without grinding. You deserve a funnel that feels like freedom, not a full-time job. And I'd be so honored to help you build it. And until next time, stay in your brilliance, stay in overflow, and I will talk to you soon.